Hey there, your yard took a real beating this summer. Luckily, Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard has your back. Just feed your grass with Scott's again this fall when the air is cool and the soil is warm. It's the perfect time to give your lawn a boost. If you do, Winter Guard will give your yard the nourishment it needs to help weak, thin grass recover and support root growth, giving you a greener, more resilient lawn both now and next spring. Guaranteed. Grab a bag of Scott's Turf Builder Winter Guard today. You'll be back to barbecuing in no time. This is a Scott's Yard.
Blog Talk Radio. You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destinee D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something. This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned. Hey, it's your girl, Destinee D, live on WTLR Radio, and you are at the Literary Lounge. Today's special guest is a young man by the name of Ali Shakur. He is the author of the new book titled Loyalty, published by House of Royalty. We're going to do a 1-hour interview, more so like a literary questionnaire, to get some information about this brand new writer, a little bit about himself, a little bit about his book, and any events or anything that he has in the near future. So we're going to dig right into episode 20, and today's date is September 29th, 2018. So let's see if he's on the air. Ali, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, great. Welcome to the Lounge. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking.
No. Now, is this your first book that you have coming out now?
Yes, it is. This is my first book. It's published by A&B House of Royalty, titled Loyalty. This is my baby. I love it.
Okay, great. So can you tell the world and our listeners, who is Ali Shakur? Where is he from? Give us some background information.
Well, a little bit about myself is my name is Ali Shakur. I am born and raised, for the most part, in Illinois. I am a father, which I think is one of my greatest accomplishments up to date. And I enjoy writing. That's what I do 24/7. I write. I have many, many, many stories to share with the world.
Okay,
and I'm not going to give my age out, but
I don't think anybody would judge You did.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoy writing, and hopefully doing this platform, I gain a lot of fans out of it.
Okay, so how long have you been writing?
I've been writing probably since I was in teens. I've been writing, and Loyalty was actually the very first story I ever written, and it's based loosely on true events. I'm not going to say if it's my life or anybody in particular, but it is based on true events for the most part. And when I first started writing Loyalty, I didn't think anybody would enjoy it, so I kept throwing it away and said, "Nah, no one likes this." But fast forward, here I am. I put it together, and the response has been ridiculous. I'm happy with it.
Right, and that's one thing that you should never do. Never discount your own writing, because something that you may feel is it's your worst piece of work is actually really good for somebody else. Like, we critique ourselves so hard that it's like the work that we want to put out is A1, but to them it's already A1. Like, we really like push ourselves to put out the best things, and we tend to judge ourselves harsher than the public. So yeah, never shortchange yourself. Whatever you put out, you can always put it out. I've told people over time, if it's not your best work, there's always a thing that you could do, like revision. You can always revise. You can always get feedback from the readers and whatever that they brought to the table as far as ideas of which way it could have went or what could have made it better. You use those comments to kind of revise the story. But that's really cool that you released it. So when did it actually release?
June 14th of 2018. After many back and forths of me, should I do it, shouldn't I do it? I had people on my team saying, they was waiting for it. I would get text message, why you haven't did it yet? Why you haven't put it out yet? And I would come up with every excuse in the book of why I didn't do it. And one night I was just, I got on the phone with the publisher, and he was like, "Yo, now's the time. Go ahead and do it." And all I had to do was just hit a button for the world to see it. And I hit that button and I put it out there for the world. And ever since June 14th, it's just been nonstop for me, nonstop.
That's awesome. So have you did any book signings or anything like that yet?
I have not did any real book signings. What I've been kind of doing is traveling, going down to Florida, going to LA, and just putting the word out there, showing everybody my work, so building up a fan base and things like that. So I've been doing a lot of traveling, trying to get the word out, and then once I feel like I have that strong fan base, then I'll, proceed with the book signing and things like that.
Oh, okay. So that being said, can you give us a little brief synopsis of the book Loyalty?
Yeah. So Loyalty follows the main character, Ezekiel Miller. Ezekiel Miller has an academic scholarship to attend Howard University. Now, even though Ezekiel is very bright when it comes to book smarts, he is also one of the top basketball players in the nation. And Ezekiel has a best friend named Gabriel. We call him G in the story. And he doesn't want to leave G behind. So he convinced G to come to Washington, D.C. with him in hopes he could find his own niche in life. And everything is going well. Everything is perfect. and that is until they agree to do a favor for a neighborhood friend who happens to be a drug dealer. They do this favor for this friend, and it puts them in the midst of a notorious, unforgiving, ruthless businessman by the name of Hugo. And Hugo, all he wants is loyalty. And when Ezekiel figures out that he can't pledge his loyalty to Hugo, he risks losing everything. And that includes his life, his best friend, everything that he worked so hard for could be gone in a blink of an eye if he doesn't pledge his loyalty.
Wow.
So that's what the story is about.
I can see why people are interested in reading it because, a lot of times people get hooked up into negative situations, like, without even giving it a higher regard. Like, they do something without thinking, not knowing the repercussions of it. And see, they probably thought that when they made that decision to do that favor, that was going to be the end of it. But, once you get in, it's a wrap. They pretty much like blood in, blood out. You draw blood to get in, and then blood to get out. So it's like you pretty much put yourself in as one of the guys that he's looking to go to forever. Like, and the only way that you can't do what he tells you to do is if you dead. Like, that's rough right there.
Right,
and
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just saying, guys, everything that they had going for them for a stupid decision to help somebody that honestly really didn't need their help. Like, he could have got like some of his own guys to do it, but at the end of the day, they did it. So, man,
true enough. But in this story, Ezekiel is a good kid. He's not a bad kid, and it's a favor that he did not want to do. He was against this favor. But his friend, G, who is more like, let's get this money, let's have fun, we're young, live for the moment type of personality, he convinced Zeke to just do it, this one favor, because they were going to get paid in the process of doing it. And what makes this story so relatable, as you were saying, a lot of times, you have one friend in your group who's doing really well, got a whole future ahead of them. And then you may have one friend that just wilding out real crazy. But you love him and you stick by him, through all his craziness. And sometimes because of that, we fall into that negative path.
Mhm. Yeah.
So this is what makes this story, a lot of people can relate to it because, like I said, it's based loosely on true events. Some of it is made up, of course, to make a good story, but most of it is based on true events.
Yeah, but see, normally, like, the average person that has a best friend that's playing basketball, it's like they ride the wing, and then they become a part of the entourage, so they still get, the perk of being the best friend of the guy who's going to the NBA or the NFL or whatever he's going to. It's like all you got to do is sit back and chill because you can be with them when all stuff is lovely. Like, you don't have to do nothing strange for a little piece of change. You can pretty much just be his friend, and you can ride along with him. A lot of people don't rationalize, being friends with celebrities or ball players and stuff like that. Because if you're a best friend, you're automatically going to be attached to the perk. Like, because they're not going to just drop you. You was there from day one. They're going to take care of you. Not that you're supposed to be looking for that, but that's normally what happens. They become a part of the entourage. They get all of these perks and stuff like that for just being a friend. Like, you wouldn't have to do nothing for a drug dealer to make ends meet. Like, the money is going to be coming. Like, as soon as you get signed, millions of dollars. Why trade your life for a couple of hundred, couple of thousand when your best friend about to hit the million? You know what I'm saying? I don't think
Right.
that G really rationalized it. But let me ask you this:
Sure.
is this book like? Does it have a potential for a part 2?
Oh, definitely. I'm writing part 2 right now. It's called La Santa Trinidad. La Santa Trinidad. That means the Holy Trinity in Spanish. When you read the book, you'll understand why a part 2 is needed. And part 2 is just going to dig deeper into certain situations that happen in the book and why this happened and why that happened. So yeah, it's definitely a part 2. The plan is to make it a trilogy, but the way part 2 is going, I don't know if it's going to make it. And as an author yourself, and many authors out there can relate, we had the tendency to when we're writing a book, we just start killing off everybody. You know, we just get in our mode to people just die for no reason. You know, and that's what I'm struggling with. I want the story to be good, but I know there has to be something that really hits hard with the audience. You know, like something unexpected has to happen for people to be mad at me, because that makes a good author. When your readers is like, why'd you kill him? You shouldn't have did that. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm struggling with right now. I wanted to be a trilogy, but
that you go in. Like there's like when you're a writer, there's like unlimited amount of talent that you can tap into. Like there's never a story that can be ended. Like you can always find some kind of scapegoat to bring into like another part, because like I've noticed like over time, like I've killed people in the book, but like they had a younger brother that kind of took up the slack, or either they had a sister or a cousin that was unbeknownst to everybody that kind of picked up their place, or one of the girls that was in the book was pregnant and didn't know it, so there's a child that could be dropped in. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always avenues that you can like run off into, like that. If you had it subtle in the book, like if like one of my books I have where one of the guys has 2 brothers, but they don't talk. You know what I'm saying? So his 2 best friends are like brothers to him. But at the end of the day, if I wanted to do a part 2, I could say if he died in the first book, that his older brother was looking for the dude that murked him, or his baby brother kind of like followed in his footsteps. You can always, you know, twist characters that are not really focused on in the first book, and give them major roles in the second. So just be mindful that you can always plug and play when it comes to characters that are not really emphasized, like you mention them, but you don't really give them a chapter per se. You can always bring them in or invite them in, or say that they're, you know, the boss's henchman after the boss got killed, or you can say he's the new guy in town, or he took his role, and all of that stuff. So it's like there's pretty much never-ending stories when it comes to writing. Because
loyalty is one of those type of stories. I said loyalty is one of those type of stories. After I finished, you know, part 1, I could have left it as is. But something inside of me was like, no, you can't leave it like that. You know, there's so much more that you can do to the story, which this is why I'm coming up with a part 2. And but yeah, I wanted to be a trilogy. I really do. But the way the storyline is going now, I might just want to end it and begin to work on another story that I've been, you know, writing on for the past couple years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if it took you a couple of years just to get it started, I really want to get into some more of this interview. So with that being said, we're going to take a short break. It's going to be very short, and we're going to come right back with some more information from you about this new book and everything, and we'll get deeper into it, okay? So hold on the line for. All right.
This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.
All right, and we are back, and we are live at the Literary Lounge on WTLR Radio. Today's date is September the 29th, 2018, and we have a young man by the name of Ali Shakur on the line with us today. He is the author of the new book, Loyalty, and it was published by House of Royalty. So we've been talking for the last 30 minutes or so about his new book that he has out, a little bit about himself, his background, how he got into writing, and things of that nature. And we've been speaking about the actual book itself. So we want to go into our second segment to see if we can get some more information. Ali, are you on the line still?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, no problem. Now, I know that you said you have been writing since you were a teenager.
Yes.
Do you find it difficult to come up with the things that you have written? Like, is there a process of some kind that you go through?
There's not a real process. When I was a kid, for a long time, I was just the only child before my baby sister came along. So my mother always, showered me with toys. Any kind of toy I wanted, she would just buy it for me. I guess you can say I was kind of spoiled. But with these toys, I will create storylines for them, and no matter where I was at, if I was in church, school, riding in a car, wherever, in my head, I'm creating these storylines. So when I get back home, I can act out these storylines with my toys. And I've been doing that since as long as I can remember, since I was a kid. And the older I got, I never lost that touch. I guess I've been in tune with my imagination. And to this day, no matter what I'm doing, who I'm with, I'm always creating an imagination scenario in my head, and if it sounds good, then I'd be like, oh, man, I can make this into something big. And that's pretty much my thought process when it comes to writing. I never stop thinking of concepts. I never stop thinking of storylines. When I started this journey, someone said to me, like, you're not going to be a good writer because you don't read books. And in my mind, it's like, of course I don't read books because I know how my imagination works. So if I read someone else's work, for the most part, that may stick with me. So when I get ready to do my own work, that piece of that book may pop up into my head and may want me to write it down, if that makes sense to you.
Yeah,
I have
it
a
makes
really
perfect.
strong imagination.
Mm.
So I kind of, I'm sorry?
No, I said when you read someone else's work and it sticks with you, you tend to assimilate. You tend to put that into your own writing because it's familiar to you. So yeah,
Correct.
that's true. True.
Correct. So I stay away. I don't watch a lot of TV. I may have my TV shows that I watch, when it comes on, but for the most part, I stay away from TV. I stay away from reading anybody else's work. I mean, I know who good authors are. I read their synopsis. I read their, little parts they put out there, previews on social media. So I know who the good authors are. I just refrain from getting too deep with their work. I support all black authors as much as possible. I try to share their work. I try to, when someone asks me, hey, what's a good book? Any good authors? I put their names out there. But for me personally, the way my imagination is set up, it's best that I just stay away from reading other people's work. I don't want no one to come back and say, oh, you copycat me. Oh, I read this in another book. Or I seen this on TV. Then that takes away from authenticity. I want to be authentic in everything I do. So,
that is true. I get exactly where you're coming from. I see how your mind is working when it comes to that. And I completely agree with you. Like, that's a positive aspect. It may seem negative to the person who wanted you to critique or read their book, but at the end of the day, it kind of saves you and your mindset to keep you from, plagiarizing or copyright infringement and all of that good stuff. It's more like a safety net for you, more so than a disrespect to them. So I get exactly what you're saying. So
one thing sure, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
go
go
ahead.
ask your question. No, one thing that I do is I watch news, and I watch news that pertain to us as black people in America. For 4 years, I was part of the new Black Panther Party for self-defense. So I've seen a lot. I did a lot. But even though I'm not an active member right now, I still follow how the media portrays us, how the police pretty much murder us in the streets. That I do follow because when everything is said and done, I want to actually recap my time as a new Black Panther member and put everything that I witnessed or seen in a book. And, of course, I will pull from different scenarios that happen in real life, So that's the only thing that I do. That's the only thing I read. That's the only thing I really follow.
Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like, you watch the news, I can't. Like, because I see so much negativity on the news. It's almost 3 times a day that they show death, they show destruction, and they show mayhem all over the world 3 times a day. And me personally, I cannot watch it. I will not sit through a whole news segment. Like, I just can't do it because it will only piss me off. It'll have me to the point to where I'm upset and I'm mad. My blood is boiling, my pressure is up, and stuff like that. So I refuse to watch it. And every time I see a special news report with Donald Trump on the screen, I instantaneously get hit. Like, I can't watch the news at all. Now, I have noticed that over time with the magazine that we do, Community, I do that, but I go online. I go online to see CNN, CNBC, I go to the different news channels and I select the story that I want to go into. I can't
Right.
just look at and everything. And I try to find good stuff. Like, I try to find things that uplift, things that, that help us in the long run. Holistic care and foods and drinks and things that we can eat and drink that help us without taking medication, without pharmaceuticals, and all of that stuff. So I know I can't do the news, but I can look at it online. Like, I don't look at live footage. I pick the story that I want to read about and go from there. Like, because for me, watching TV like that, I can't do it.
Well, That's what I meant when I say I watch the news. Everything I see is always online. A lot of Facebook pages post good information for Black health, and they post some bad things that's happening to the Black community. But it's just important for me that I stay on top of what's going on in different cities across the nation, and not just what happens here at home. Because I know what happens here at home. I'm outside of Chicago, so I know exactly what's happening. So I don't need to watch the news to know what's happening, close to home. But I need to know what's happening in New York and New Orleans and Florida and Tennessee. I need to know what's happening all over the nation within our Black community, because it's important to me.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. It's kind of sort of a personal question, but do you see yourself renewing your vows with the Black Panther Party? Do you see yourself picking back up where you left off?
I do not. Mm-hmm. During that time, not only was I part of the Black Panther Party, I was also part of the NAACP. I was the treasurer of the local branch. And I see a lot of people out for their self, for their self. They're not out for the people.
Right.
They have their own hidden agendas. And it just doesn't sit right with me, because in my opinion, in my eyes, you're nothing short of a pimp. You're pimping out your own people for your own political ambition.
Right.
And I'm not a person of hate. I'm not a person of hatred. I dislike people. I dislike them. But at the end of the day, to be all honest, we're humans. So just because we look different doesn't mean I have to hate you. I don't like your ways, things differently, but I don't hate you. Mm. And a lot of times you get into these pro-Black organizations or these Pan-African organizations, and they spill hate, and I'm not a hateful person. So no, I don't see myself, getting back active. If they wanted to come here and do something here in my hometown or here in my home state, then yeah, I will support them 110%. But as far as doing the traveling and this and that and being on the front lines, no, I can't do it. Like I said, I'm a father, for one. I have children. And I think the best way to fight white supremacy is not, fight them with hate and anger. You fight them in your home. You raise your kids to understand. So when they go out there into the world, they're well equipped and educated, and they can go out there and handle business. And that's my way of fighting white supremacy.
Yeah, but you also have to factor in that it's not so much as how much you teach your children. It's children that's being murdered as well, for just being, getting off of the school bus, for living in a better neighborhood than the other people think that they should be living in. And, they see the police and they run out of fear and they get 8 bullets in the back. It's not that these are not good children. A lot of the ones that I have seen recently, one was playing in his own yard. You know what I'm saying? So there's no real way to prepare a young Black boy with the fact that there's multiple sources that are against you. Like I tell myself all the time, you already got 2 strikes and you ain't even did nothing wrong. So when you do something that they feel is enough to punish you for, they hitting you with every letter of the law. And some of them not even doing anything wrong and getting hemmed up. Like I just had a friend of mine who spent 27 years in prison for a crime he never committed. And he finally got exonerated and released, but he's lost 30 years of his life. He was 16 when he got locked up. He lost his life. When he came out, he had no idea what a cell phone or a computer, laptop, or none of that was. He didn't know nothing about driving. He never graduated because he was only 16. Like, his mindset was that of a ninth grader. You know, so when he came back out into the real world and he saw how everything was, like, he had to play catch-up real fast. And, you know, his brother didn't get the same opportunity. His brother was 13, and he got locked up at the same time as his brother. But instead of them sending him to a juvenile place, they allowed him to stay in prison where his brother was. And it messed him up because he wasn't supposed to be in that kind of environment as a child at 13. Not only that, but he was sodomized while he was in prison. So he hasn't been right since. You know what I'm saying? These are things that we have to tell our sons about. Possible opportunities that the law has to get you hemmed up for something you had nothing to do with. Just being black is enough to get you arrested. Right. It's a very touchy subject, you know, when it comes to.
I totally agree with you. I totally agree. We're at a total disadvantage here in America, and it's been that way since day one, since they brought the first slaves over to Jamestown. It's been that way. But we're in a whole new century, a whole new time, to where not only are black Americans, you know, saying enough is enough, there's also white Americans, there's Asians, there's Mexicans, you know. There's different ethnic groups that standing there with us saying enough is enough. And if, you know, in my opinion, if you have these black organizations, I can understand why they may be so much anger in their heart, but we as black people can't do this on our own. So it's time to reach our hands out and start bringing in other resources if their intentions are good. I mean, you never know a person's intentions no matter what. You can be with somebody for many, many, many years in a relationship, and they may have hidden agenda. They can have intentions that may not be in your best interest, but you just don't know, you know, until they show their true colors.
Right.
So we have.
Yeah, there are other nationalities that are helping. I have noticed that 3/4 of the riots that have taken place in the last 6 months have been predominantly white people. I have noticed that they have been against Trump, and it tickles me pink. It's the guy that took his star on the Walk of Fame. I mean, you have people laughing at him during these different speeches and stuff that he's been doing. They've been standing up. I think it's Collinsville or Charlottesville or something like that, you know, where the wing was against the KKK. So, yeah, there's a lot of other nationalities that are against, you know, the wrongdoings of this group. And I was actually surprised, well, I wasn't really shocked, but to find out that the major campaign funding for Trump was from Grand Wizard. And when he announced it, you know, Trump tried to deny it, but they're all connected. They're all affiliated. And see, we didn't know how strong white power was in our communities, in the country, until we saw the Trump signs in their yards for the election. So it's like these people were teachers and policemen and judges and officers and you know, of the court and all of these different things. We're seeing like all of these signs in their yard, and we're like, oh, okay, now we know your true color. You know?
But that's one thing you got to give Trump kudos to, because he brought out all the racism. He made everybody show their true colors. So kudos to him for that. But at the same time, he also brought out people who was like, I'm not dealing with this crap. You know, no, we're not finna do this all over again. We've been through it once. We're not doing it again. You know, and those are the people that we need to embrace and extend our hand out to and say, you know what, thank you for showing your support. Thank you for showing that you care not only about my well-being, but the well-being of this nation that we have to share together, regardless if we here by choice or by force. We're here, and there's nothing nobody can do about it now. So let's make the best of it. And that's how we got to look at the situation. If we want to see change not only in the black community, but change all throughout the nation.
Right. It has to be an overall thing, and I agree with that. Now, let me ask you this, because you kind of like said a little hush type of thing in the very beginning of the interview about loyalty not being one of your first books. So how many books have you written total so far?
No, as far as books that I've actually put together and put out to the world, loyalty is the only one. Now, as far as stories, I have hundreds of stories that I have in my vault that is waiting for me to come back and say, okay, let's finish this up. It's like how rappers have hundreds of unreleased music, and you think they're dead, and then another song just pop up out of nowhere. It's something like that. It's just I never stop working. I just never stop working.
Okay. So how long did it take you to put loyalty together?
6 months. From front to back, as far as writing, 6 months. Now, the whole editing process and everything that comes with when you're publishing and all that stuff, it probably took less than a year. I started writing Loyalty September 2017. And I was finished by March. No, I was actually finished by February. Yeah, February, early March, I was finished with the story. Then, of course, I made some revisions to it. Me and the editor, was going back and forth and make it pretty good. But, yeah, it didn't take me no time. But you have to keep in mind, though, that Loyalty was a story that I had already previously written before, and I just never really, put it out. So it didn't take me no time just to finish something that I already had in my head.
Well, listen, we're going to take one quick break, and we're going to come right back, and we're going to give the audience an opportunity to know how much the book is going for, where it can be found, and all of that good stuff. So hold on the line. We'll be right back.
Okay.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destinee D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something.
All right, and we are back, and we are live at the Literary Lounge on WTLR Radio. Today's date is September 29, 2018, and we have a young man by the name of Ali Shakur on the line. He is the author of a new book titled Loyalty, and we're going to see if we can get some more information from him about how to find his book. Ali, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. So tell everyone where they can find your book. Where can it be found?
They can go to www.anbhouseofroyalty.com. That's anbhouseofroyalty.com. And you'll be able to find Loyalty as well as other merchandise. I'm trying my hand in I guess T-shirt / clothing line. So we got some T-shirts up there. We got Loyalty T-shirts. We got my Black is Royalty T-shirts and hoodies. So go there, check it out, and Right now, the paperback, I don't have the ebook format. I'm old school. I like to have it in my hand. So the copy of Loyalty paperback is $12. But if you follow me on social media, my Facebook name is Ali Shakur. My Instagram page is Choose Wisely 2. Choose CHOOSE_Wisely WISELY the number 2. And just follow me. I'm always releasing discounts to the store. So even though the price is at $12, by the time you check out, it's going to be a little cheaper. And right now, we are running a special. If you purchase a Loyalty T-shirt, then you get the paperback free, no charge to you.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool. So with that being said, how many pages is this book? Like, is it well over 300 pages?
It's 187 pages.
Okay.
And it's written in first person, which is very hard to do when you write in person because you're not able to jump from place to place. You got to kind of stick with this character throughout the story. So the story is written in first person, and you're seeing it through the eyes of Ezekiel, or Zeke for short.
Okay. So now we're going to go into contact info. I know you mentioned that you had Facebook and you had Instagram as well. Do you have a website of your own or email where people can reach you and follow you?
Well, yeah, the website is www.A&B-House-Royalty. That's the only thing we have right now. Pretty much that's where all our merchandise is at. As far as email, my email is ashakur.royalty@gmail.com. That's ashakur.royalty@gmail.com. That's my personal information. And even for the new authors out there that's listening, if you're looking for a publisher, if you're looking for some advice, or you just want to run an ideal by me, feel free to email me. I have been granted the permission to run the day-to-day operations of the publishing house, so that's pretty cool that he took a new author and put the company on my back and trusted me with, to make sure everything is being done correctly.
Now, just as a closing statement, what would you tell an active reader? Like, what would be your sales pitch for them to purchase a copy of your book?
A sales pitch. Wow. You got a question. Wow. I wouldn't have a sales pitch because I'm not a salesperson. The only thing I can tell you is it's definitely a good read. Once you read it, once you set it down, once you complete the story, you're definitely going to be one more. I left it in a way to where you need more. It becomes like a drug. A lot of people who have read it have texted me, called me, emailed me, inboxed me, and said, why? Why did you leave it like this? When is the next one coming? I need more. So it's definitely a good read, and I put everything I had into the story. Of course, being my biggest critic, I think I could have did better, but for the most part, it's definitely not your typical urban fiction story. Everything is totally different, from the book cover to how I written the story is totally not your traditional urban fiction or street literature type of book. So you're not going to see names like Fresh or Juice or those type of names. You're going to actually see a mother. You're going to see brothers. You're going to see best friends. You're going to see fathers. You're going to see everything. I give you that. This is what it's like in the black community in real life situations. This is how it goes down.
Right. That sounds pretty awesome. And just to give you some words of encouragement. Continue to do what you're doing. As far as you having so many stories in your vault, I think it's about time that you dust a couple of them off and get them ready for them. So we'll have more to look forward to. Also, are you traveling any more this year as far as like location-wise? Do you have any places that you have planned to travel to in the near future?
No, I just came back from California, and I got a birthday coming up October 20th. I was going to travel locally, but I think I just want to sit home and kind of just take it in. I've been getting a lot of positive feedback, and right now I'm just trying to wrap my head around, everything that's happening right now. I didn't expect it to go down this way. So I just want to relax and enjoy, being with my children. But the first of the year, of course, I'm going to hit the road again or hit the friendly skies and just start traveling and getting the word out. I want to finish La Cianta, Trinidad. I want to release that June 14th, on the 1-year anniversary of Loyalty. So I got a lot of work to do with that. So now I just want to kind of just focus right now. I'm in beast mode right now, so I'm focused, man.
Yep.
I'm focused.
Well, I really appreciate you taking out the time out of your busy schedule to be with us today. I really thoroughly enjoyed your interview, and I really want to extend my congratulations on your new release. I know when you let the baby be born, it's an awesome thing, especially when you get the first copy in your hand. It's like a level of pride that hits you, that you actually completed it and it's actually ready and people can partake in what you've written, and it's a joyous occasion. So I know that lives are still up and all of that good stuff. So I'd like to congratulate you on your new book. And like I said, thank you so much for being on the show, because as I say on every show that we have, it would not even be a show if you weren't here. Like, my level of gratitude is very high, so we really appreciate you taking out the time being on the show today.
Well, hopefully you'll have me back. I would love to be back. Maybe we can make it happen in the future. I'll reach out to you and see what we can do. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Sounds great. So if you have, like, any closing statements or anything that you would like to have for the audience, you can do so now.
The only thing I tell people is you got to be the same animal but different beast. And that means be who you are. Don't let society tell you who you have to be. But when you see something that you want, you got to be a different beast and just go after it like a lion when it's hunting time, when he's hungry. So be the same animal but a different beast. Be true to who you are, but also know that when it's time to get stuff cracking, you just got to turn it up and go beast mode and go after it. There's no easy way to it. Be you. Be hungry. Stay focused. That's all I got.
That's awesome. So with that being said, we'd like to thank you, and we really appreciate you. So everybody that's listening in, that's tuning in, please be sure to look up his new book, Loyalty. As he stated, is on the website, AandBHouseOfRoyalty.com. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. So be on the lookout for the apparel that he has online. Get that free get that T-shirt so you can get a free copy of the book, or either just show your love and support and just grab a copy of his new book. Now, let me ask you this. When they purchase the book, would it already come autographed? Is it an autographed copy?
The book has the autograph?
Yes.
Is that what you asked? The book will not be autographed. If you want an autographed copy, just after you make your purchase, you can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, or email me and say, hey, I purchased this. I would like the book to be autographed. I will autograph it and send it to you. And it's simple as that. A lot of people, I don't know, may not want an autograph book. So I don't want to just scribble all over it.
No, you would definitely be surprised. People want it personalized. People wanted to say, it's my book, So a lot of times when they go to book signings, they get it, autographed. So never, like I said, don't shortchange it. Sometimes they want you to write, to me from you. Makes it more personal.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But I also want to say that autographs, like the autographs will take longer to ship versus in me not autographing it. But I can definitely autograph when I'm out and about, and people that have the book see me out in public. They say, oh, can you autograph my book? I meet up with them, autograph it. So I have no problem autographing, but I just want you to be aware that it may take longer for you to receive because of the high demand.
Right.
But you will definitely get it. You will get the T-shirt, and then you'll get your copy of Loyalty shortly after. It's not going to come all packaged together, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, I think it's awesome that you have, the clothing along with the books and stuff like that. That's a nice little branch and all to kind of tie everything together. But everybody be sure to look him up on Facebook, look him up on Instagram, so that if he's in your area, you can actually go out and show your love and support. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Ali Shakur. All right.
Yay.
So, yeah, I know, right? Thank you so much for being our special guest today. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you for having me. It was greatly appreciated, and I enjoyed it.
All right, great. Well, you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm gonna tell you happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. You're the best. I appreciate it.
Very. All right. Take care.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
You are live at the Literary Lounge with your host, Destinee D, bringing you the newest and the brightest of the literary world right to your ear hole. Every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tune in, listen up, and learn something.
All right, guys. On October 6, 2018, we will have Brother Michael Muhammad as our special guest. So make sure you tune in next week. That's Brother Michael Muhammad.
This is the spot for new hot authors who are given the opportunity to shine. Each Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will showcase a new author here at the Literary Lounge. We are taking out the time to give all of our literary friends an opportunity to showcase their work. The New Author Spotlight is a platform that allows us to ask up to 10 questions or more to give you, the audience, the most in-depth current information about each writer in their literary piece. We will have a new guest every week. Stay tuned.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer, all the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.